In my previous video, I shared about the lie, you don't matter. If you haven't seen it yet, the link is below. But what I'm about to share happened 1 year before that. During the early days of COVID, New Zealand went into a very strict lockdown. Everything shut down. We couldn't even visit our neighbors. The streets were quiet and empty. Life suddenly slowed down. And in the middle of that quietness, something unexpected happened. I realized I finally had space. Near my house, there was a school parking lot. Normally, it was full of cars and students. But during lockdown, it was completely empty. And one day, I had a thought, maybe this is my chance. You see, I never learned how to ride a bicycle as a child because I was afraid. So I grew up without ever learning. But now, in my 50s, I finally decided to try. The first few attempts were not graceful. I fell, I wobbled. But little by little, something changed. Suddenly, I was balancing, then I was pedaling. And before I knew it, I was riding in circles around that empty parking lot. I remember smiling. I remember thinking, wow, I'm actually doing this. I even felt a little proud of myself. And then, right in the middle of that moment, the Holy Spirit spoke. I didn't see it coming. The words were very clear inside my heart. You have been living like the servant with one talent. I froze. At first, I didn't understand. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't wasting my life. But as I kept riding in that empty parking lot, the Lord began to show me something deeper. For much of my life, I had been choosing safety over obedience. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to somehow dishonor God. So I learned to stay careful. I stayed quiet. I stayed small. And I told myself it was humility. But the Lord gently showed me something that day. It wasn't humility, it was fear. In Matthew 25, the servant says, I was afraid, so I hid your talent. That was the key, fear. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized something important. Fear doesn't always look like hiding. Sometimes fear hides behind the other behaviors. Some people withdraw and stay small, like me. Some people constantly strive and try to prove themselves. Others argue and fight to prove they are right. Different behaviors, but often the same root. Self-protection. Some shrink back, some overachieve, some battle. But underneath it all is the same feeling, I'm not safe. And when we live protecting ourselves, we slowly stop trusting God. That day, in the empty parking lot, God wasn't condemning me. He was revealing something. He was exposing the fear I didn't even know was there. But I still didn't understand where that fear had come from. The next morning, I asked him a simple question. Lord, where is this coming from? And what he showed me next was something I never expected. It wasn't about bicycles. It wasn't even about fear. It was about how I saw him. And it broke me. I'll share that in the next video.